NBA playoffs first round. Without further ado, let's grab ourselves an umbrella and make it rain from the 3-point range. Woo! Who's going to be the king of basketball in the National Basketball Association for 2009? Let's do this. Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Detroit Pistons from the Eastern Conference first round playoffs. Wow. The Cavaliers starters are Mo Williams, Delonte West, LeBron James, Anderson Varejao, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. The Pistons starters are Rodney Stuckey, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Antonio McDyess, and Rasheed Wallace. In the season series, definitely Cleveland 3-1. So I think this series comes down to Cleveland Cavaliers being dominant. I mean, if they stay focused and bury the Detroit Pistons right off the bat, and it's a wrap in 4 games. If not, it's going to be 5 or 6 games. Don't give Detroit Pistons any hope. Now, as for Detroit Pistons themselves, wow. I didn't see this coming, of them being 39-43 record. I did not see that coming. If I got the record wrong, that's my fault. I used to seeing Detroit in 1, 2, or 3 seed, not in the 8th seed. I mean, let alone a losing record. I mean, ever since they traded away their heart and soul, their leader of the team, Chauncey Billups, they completely took a nosedive. And yeah, Allen Iverson, he's out for the rest of the year with the back injury. Most people blaming Allen Iverson for Detroit Pistons mishaps. Well, last I checked, Joe Dumars made the trade. Okay. And he knows what he's doing, and yeah, but he has to get some of the blame. You know what I'm saying? So that's on him. And people are blaming Michael Curry and such, so, well, the Detroit Pistons got to play great basketball. That's the only way that they can at least stand a chance against Cleveland Cavaliers. They got to get some lucky breaks, but I don't think that's going to happen. I see the series going to 5 games, and Cleveland takes it. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers is on a mission to get to the NBA Finals, and nothing's going to stop them. Next up, my favorite matchup of the Eastern Conference, Atlanta Hawks versus the Miami Heat. Now, the starters for the Atlanta Hawks will be Mike Bibby, Joe Johnson, Marvin Williams, Josh Smith, Al Horford. Heat starters, Mario Chalmers, Dwayne Wade, Jamario Moon, Udonis Haslem, and Jermaine O'Neal. The Hawks won the season series 3-1. And a great matchup to see is Joe Johnson versus Dwayne Wade. That's going to be sweet. That's going to be sweet. It comes down to, this matchup comes down to discipline for Atlanta Hawks, and for the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade's teammates stepping it up. I mean, you can't ask D Wade to carry the team by himself. Basketball's a team sport. So the Atlanta Hawks' problem is they can't win in Miami. They're 0-for. So I see this series going to 6 games. Atlanta Hawks takes it, and they will win at least 2 games in Miami. They got enough firepower to put the Miami Heat out. Next up will be the Boston Celtics versus the Chicago Bulls. So here's the starters. Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Glenn Davis, Kendrick Perkins. Bull starters, Derrick Rose, Ben Gordon, John Salmus, Tyrese Thompson, Joakim Noah. The season series, Boston 2-1. And the excellent matchup is going to be Rondo versus Rose. So please keep an eye out for that. for the Boston Celtics, it's going to come down to what they're going to do now without Kevin Garnett, who's going to be out with the knee surgery. I mean, we all know Paul Pierce is going to take the team in the shoulders, but everyone else is going to have to follow his lead. They have to control the pace of the game. They got to control the tempo, clog the middle defensively, not let Derrick Rose get into the lane and have a field day. Otherwise, the series can be a very long one. As for the Chicago Bulls, even though they're a jump shooting team, they got to get Ben Gordon and John Samos involved. And Kirk Heinrich has got to be consistent from the three-point range as well. It'll be his first head coach. It'll be Vinny Del Negro's first playoff appearance. So I think this series is going to go to 6 games. Boston Celtics wins it. Everyone's picking a sweep, but ever since they went to 7 games with the Atlanta Hawks last year, I haven't been sold on Boston Celtics. I just can't pick a sweep against the Bulls. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. And last but not least, Orlando Magic versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm picking Orlando in a 4-game sweep. They're going to be too much for the Sixers to handle. Dwight Howard can't afford to take a game off. He's got to be dominant. And for the 76ers, they got to play perfect basketball. They got to hit their three-point shots, which is one of their weaknesses. So, I'm done with the Eastern Conference. Let's get to the Western Conference. I'm going to go by real quickly. Los Angeles Lakers versus the Utah Jazz. I have the LA beating Utah in 5 games. The Jazz are just bad on the road. They have a bad record, like a 15-25, something like that. And it's amazing they're in the playoffs. And the Lakers are hungry. They're out for blood. And they want that Larry O'Brien trophy just as bad as any team in the league. And Kobe Bryant, a.k.a. Black Mamba, is going to prove everybody why they're the best team in basketball. Next up will be the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Houston Rockets. Experience versus inexperience. But here's the problem. Houston Rockets haven't got out of the first round in 12 years. So it's going to come down to Ron Artest and the players playing good defense on the Portland Trail Blazers, young players, and Greg Oden's health. I mean, if the referees let Ron Artest play real tough, in-your-face defense, Houston wins. If not, the Blazers are going to crush the Rockets. I see Houston winning this series in 7 games. In 7 games. If they don't get out of the first round this time, people are going to rip them. They will. Let's see how they're going to do without Tracy McGrady. It's their time to get out of the first round. So, next will be Denver Nuggets versus New Orleans Hornets. Denver surprised me a lot. Not just offense, but defensively. Ever since they got Chauncey Billups, they are a commitment to playing excellent defense and has shown. But the problem is they've been bounced out of the first round for the last 4 or 5 straight years. Can they get out of the first round against the New Orleans Hornets? It's going to come down to matchups like Billups and Jones versus Paul and Martin and West. So, and if the Denver Nuggets cut down on their turnovers, they're 6th in the NBA. They'd be all fine. And as for the Hornets, it's going to come down to Chris Paul and David West and the rest of the squad. And I know that Chris Paul is going to get it done for the New Orleans Hornets. I picked them in 6 games. So, and last but not least, the Lone Star showdown between the San Antonio Spurs versus Dallas Mavericks. I have the Spurs winning in 7 games. Most people pick the Dallas Mavericks to upset San Antonio. Yes, San Antonio Spurs are injured. They don't have Manu Ginobili and so forth. They are hurting like crazy, but they're going to get it done because of Roger Mason Jr., Matt Bonner, Michael Finley. Tim Duncan is going to be Tim Duncan. TP9 is TP9. Tony Parker, he's going to burn Jason Terry to the ground. It's going to come down to defense for San Antonio and the bench for Dallas Mavericks, especially Josh Howard. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my predictions for the first round. Do round 2 later on. And with that, I'm out.